All right, hi, welcome back. We're at Act 3, Scene 2 of Macbeth. All right, in the previous scene, you just saw Macbeth's state of mind. All right, a little bit. It's been filed a little bit. He's planning horrible, horrible acts without really thinking about them so much anymore. So we see how he's changing. Now you can see in Scene 2, we're going to check in with Macbeth's lady, also known as Lady Macbeth, of course, and we'll see how she's doing. Think she's doing. All right. Now, the first thing she says is Banquo gone from court? So clearly she's thinking about Banquo too. She also knew what the prophecy was, and maybe is also worried about him. So she says, "Is Banquo gone from court?" Servant says, "Yeah, but he's coming back later tonight. Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words." So she wants to talk to the king. She's asking the servant for help talking to Macbeth. What's happened to Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's relationship? Now, while the servant goes to get Macbeth, we have a little kind of mini soliloquy of Lady Macbeth's on stage, where we'll get to see what her state of mind is. What do you think? Nought's had, all spent. Naught means nothing. Nothing is had, all is spent. Oh, got it? Yeah, we haven't gained anything and we've given up everything. What have they given up? Yeah, their souls, something like that. Where our desire is got without content. Ooh, it's all rhyming. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How about that? You're going to have to read that line again, because that tells you all you need to know about the direction that Lady Macbeth's mind and heart is going. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy. What do they destroy? Duncan, okay? It'd be safer to be dead, basically, than by destruction to dwell in doubtful joy, which is where they are right now, in doubtful joy. Paranoia, right? Just worried that they're going to get caught all the time, and maybe worried about their souls as well. All right, so now he comes in. All right, it's a super mini soliloquy, but it says a lot right there in those 4 lines. Macbeth comes in and she says to him, "How now, my lord?" Which means, "How are you doing? Why do you keep alone?" She is concerned, isn't she? Why are you alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on. So she knows who he's thinking about, but she's saying those thoughts should have stopped. It's a little weird that she's saying that because obviously she's in the same spot. We got it right there. But now she's saying you shouldn't be talking like that. Why are you always by yourself? Well, in some ways, this is kind of, you know, loving. She's worried about him. He's always by himself. He doesn't talk to her anymore. All right? This is another one of those expressions that Shakespeare is credited with inventing that we now say all the time. Before that, things without all remedy should be without regard. Meaning, if you can't fix it, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. What's done is done. It's not the most complicated poetry in the world, but it's so perfectly worded that it became an expression that we still use. What's done is done. It's Lady Macbeth who's the first person who said that. So, what's done is done. Macbeth's response is, "We have scorched the snake, not killed it." Okay, so who's the snake? She'll close, meaning people thought that snakes could always heal themselves, and be herself, whilst our poor Mallet remains in danger of her former tooth. But we're still in danger, basically. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer. Ere before we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. So this is weird and confusing stuff. You can see where Macbeth's head is, but we also know that he has terrible dreams that shake him nightly. Remember what he heard somebody say after he killed Duncan? It's all starting to make sense for him now. Now, he says, "Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy." Now that is very similar to what she said right here. Slightly different, though. Better to be with the dead. We've got this great play of words, whom we, to gain our peace, here peace means our goals, our joy, being king, have sent to peace. And here the same word peace means, eternal peace, like being dead. Classic Shakespeare move there. This part's really beautiful too. Duncan is in his grave, and after life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Can you tell that Macbeth is feeling about the fact that Duncan sleeps so well because he's dead? Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice, domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further. How's he feeling about Duncan being dead? He's super jealous. He sleeps well. Wish I could sleep well. Wish I were dead. It's kind of what he's saying. Now, Lady Macbeth's response to that, what's she going to do? Is she going to yell at him like she did in Act 1 and 2 and be like, why are you thinking this stupid stuff? Is she going to be all soft and kind to him? That's actually what she does. She is soft. She says, come on, gentle my lord. Sleek over your rugged looks. All right? Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight. Just try to get together. Okay? So shall I, love. And so I pray be you. All right? So now maybe he kind of snaps out of it. And he says, now, this part's really weird. He says, let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Okay, don't forget about Banquo tonight at the party. In fact, present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Talk to him, be kind to him, be respectful to him. So, given that we know what happened in the previous scene, where he basically ordered the hit on Banquo from those murderers, why would he be telling Lady Macbeth, hey, make sure you pay extra special attention to Banquo tonight? My best guess, I think, is that kind of something we're seeing in this scene and the previous one also is that he's just distancing himself from her. And he doesn't want her to know that he planned this hit for whatever reason. Maybe as another signal of his deterioration that he's kind of, separating from her and completely isolating himself, even in his awful plans. She used to be part of his awful plans. At least they were doing it together. It was awful and evil, but kind of not romantic. But anyway, I'm joking. Okay, so he says, unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams. It's kind of unsafe that we have to continue to be flattered by all these people and make our faces vizards to our hearts. That means masks, okay, disguising what they are. This is a theme that keeps coming up of your face being a mask to what you really are all about. Now look at her response. How would you say this if you were the actor playing Lady Macbeth? You must leave this. You must leave this. I'm like, oh, what is wrong with you? You have to stop talking like that. And look at his response. Talk about a line of poetry. Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Great line. That gives us a good image for how Macbeth's brain feels. Like it's full of scorpions? Are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Now, he says, you know that Banquo and his fiancée lives. So now he's talking about Banquo and talking about what's bothering him about it, but not saying the plan he has. Now, Lady Macbeth says, yeah, but in them nature's copies not etern, meaning eternal, which I think means they won't live forever. Now, could you read into this that she's thinking maybe of the beginnings of idea of maybe pushing things along and ending their lives? Totally possible, right? She's super evil. So maybe now she's thinking, oh, maybe we should get rid of Banquo and Fleance. But she's like 10 steps behind Macbeth already. It's already done. I mean, he already ordered it. Okay, and he says, yeah, there's comfort yet. Okay, they are assailable. They're attackable. We could get to them. Okay, so let's be happy. Now we get from here to the end, and Macbeth has some dense, creepy poetry. Ere the bat hath flown his cloister's flight, ere to black Hecate summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note. So he's saying before the bat has flown back to his cave, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note. He's being super vague about the thing that shall be done, that he's already planned. And she says, what? But then don't you love when people do this? Something's going to happen. What? You don't need to know. Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, which I think was an old-fashioned term of endearment. Okay? Till thou applaud the deed. You don't need to know about it till after it's done and you can applaud the deed and be happy about it. It's a need to know basis now. Different, right? Really different. Come sealing night scar. This is a word for, they used to sew. This is gross. They sewed up the eyes of falcons to make them like manageable and tame. So now he's using a metaphor talking about night sewing up the eyes of day, so that day, again, common or similar to what we saw in Acts 1 and 2, that day can't see what we do with our bloody hands and all this. Light thickens. This part I don't really know what it means, but it always creeps me out. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. I mean, it just means the crow is going into the woods, okay, as the light thickens and gets to be dark. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse. One scholar said that should be a motto for the whole play. All right. While night's black agents do their praise do rouse. Now you see you have this dash here, and then he says, "Thou marvelest at my words." So what should happen here? What should Lady Macbeth do? She should marvel at his words. She should maybe be picking up at what he's kind of hinting at in here and be shocked. And he says, yeah, but hold still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. Once you start doing bad things, you kind of make yourself stronger by doing more bad things. Look how Macbeth now jumps from crime. The first crime was the hardest one, right? To convince himself to do it. Now he's like, yeah, I'll kill my best friend and his son. It's no problem now. Scary. Scene 3. Let's do this one too. It's short, and you know what? I'll tell you right now. This is the climax. This is the climax. Climax. The turning point. Okay, the dramatic climax in terms of drama, because basically, well, you'll tell me in what ways this seems to be different than anything that's come before. We are now in a different place where the murderers are, somewhere far away from the castle, remember, where Macbeth told them to go. Okay? The first murderer says, oh, but who did? Oh, there's 3 now, right? So that's weird. Who told you to join us? Macbeth did. And then the second guy says, we don't have to mistrust him because he has the same instructions we do. Some people think that this third one is Macbeth in disguise, and in some movie versions they show it that way. But I don't think that really holds up. We can talk about that later. Okay, so he says, all right, come with us. It's becoming, the sun is setting. And here comes the subject of our watch. Who is that? That's him, of course. Okay, so this guy hears horses. Banquo asks for a light. He's off stage. Okay, there he is. His horses are going in. All right, he's almost a mile away, but he usually walks from here to the gate after putting his horse away there. So he's back at the palace, but kind of, I guess, a mile away from it. And now we see on stage Banquo and Fleance with a torch. Remember, Fleance is Banquo's son. Okay, the second murderer says, a light, it's him. 'Tis he, stand to it. Like, let's be ready. Now, Banquo, it will be rain tonight. Is that symbolic? Maybe. It also just shows that he is talking about the weather. So he's clearly not suspecting anything right now. And now comes the ambush. The first murderer says, let it come down. They attack, all right? Here's finally some action on stage. Everything else has been off stage, right? As Banquo is attacked, he says, oh, treachery, fly, good Fleance, fly, 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 thou mayest revenge. Good old noble Banquo, right? How is this tying into some of his other characteristics? He's making sure that his son escapes as he's getting killed, and he's hoping that he gives him the blessing to get revenge on him. And he's kind of assuming Fleance will figure out who is to blame for his father's death here, his father's murder. And Banquo dies. Yeah, this is the sad part, for sure. Banquo was seen as almost entirely good. Then Fleance exits. He runs away. Who struck out the light? Was that not the way? The third murderer looks down and says, oh, there's only one down. The son has fled. They were supposed to get him too, right? We have lost best half of our affair. We've lost half of what we're supposed to do. First murderer says, well, let's away and say how much is done. Well, let's go back and tell Macbeth that we got Banquo but not Fleance. How's that going to go? Okay. More murder? More crazy people? There's Macbeth for you, all right? Your turning point right there, like I said, what happened right here that has really never happened to Macbeth before, is my question. This is the first time that the plan didn't go exactly according to what would be great for Macbeth. Fleance survived. That's bad for Macbeth. That means Fleance and his sons will probably become kings, whereas Macbeth, wanted to take fate into his own hands here. So up till now, everything was going fine for him according to his goals, but here it gets kind of foiled. So there we go. We'll stop that one there. Good job making it this far, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.